RDR fam. Hope everybody had a great Tuesday. Long day for me at the office, but still had a time to do a couple of DR trades today. Tomorrow I'll be just as busy, so we'll see what that brings. But let's do a little quick recap here. Yesterday it's funny we were talking about how we were in kind of that what I call the fair value gap ping pong, and said we really needed some heavy news to get us out of it, right? Otherwise, we'll be bouncing around for a while. And of course, today we had CPI, which came in lower than forecast, right? So, in theory, that's bad for the economy, but the way the market looks at that is that's an inflation hedge that can help bring down inflation, which is what the market likes. So, negative from a news perspective was actually positive, and so what you see at 8:30, we had this massive candle that started to, and this is a daily chart, but again, pretty much most of this move happened before the market opened, after the news came out at 8:30, and so you see what ended up happening, right? We actually end up coming out of the that bearish fair value gap, both the daily and the weekly. We kind of shot up from there, and then we ended up taking out a weekly buy side. Okay, so what does that mean? All right, now tomorrow we have PPI, producer price index. Today was consumer, tomorrow is producer. So kind of the same thing. One or two things going to happen, right? We're going to go lower. We're going to get bad news in theory, and when I say bad news, I'm talking about like a 0.1% difference in what forecast versus what actually happened. But if we have bad news, economic bad news, we will probably have another run up from a market perspective. If we have what I consider in line, right? So if we meet forecast or we're above forecast, we'll definitely have a move here, right? So now the way I use fair value gaps, like, so this weekly fair value gap is no longer valid. Okay. I tell you what is going to be valid. All right. And this is where I say it gets a little interesting. It won't be tomorrow. It'll be the day after. Okay. Because unless price drops down significantly, and I mean drops down all the way to where we kind of cover this move today, all right, we'll be setting up you see how big that weekly fair value gap was on the bearish side? If we go up, or we stay around this same area, think about, we're going to have a massive fair value gap. That's going to be a bullish one. So when price comes back into it, boom, we're going to start moving out again. All right. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. But again, keep an eye on it, because that's how we read the price, right? So in all honesty, like for me, like I said, I'm going to remove, if I can get it to get, I'm going to remove that fair value gap. I'm also going to remove this daily fair value gap. Okay. This bullish one, these bullish ones are still valid because they haven't been taken out yet. Okay. But like I said, what I'm expecting, if we don't come down tomorrow, or if we come down halfway, wherever that candle closes tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we're going to have that fair value gap, unless it comes out and takes out the entire move for today. Okay, so we'll see what happens in the morning. All right, but that's how you kind of read the gaps, and you can kind of prepare for them to happen, and then you can see what happens. So now we've taken out this. I moved that, but we've taken out now that weekly buy side. So in theory, again, same thing, we should be coming this way, unless again, we have a huge move up and then form a gap. All right, so anyway, enough about that. Hopefully these little kind of discussions are helpful in kind of helping you to kind of plan out your next moves. Okay, like I said, we had that huge bearish fair value gap that is going to take some heavy news to get us out, and we had enough to do that today. So all right, life is good there. All right, so let's take it down to what we did today. And today was another one of those days, guys, where it's just following the rules, right? And I mean, and it's yeah, it's really just following the rules, and did that twice today, and like I was literally done by pretty much 11 o'clock. Again, I had a huge busy day, had a lot of stuff going on, so didn't spend a lot of time looking. I haven't even looked at most of this since around noontime. But let's look at our move. So we had this overall. You see how we set up here. We had a huge move up. So my expectation was that we're going to actually have we're going to confirm high. Let's talk about what our range was. We had a pretty decent range, if I'm not mistaken, 44.83 up to 45.12, so about 20 points. So really a nice range. And again, like I said, it was just a straight up, basically a move up to the upside. We confirmed right at about 10:35. We confirmed on the high side, and then we came back down. Uh, we had about a quarter point gap between the IDR and the DR, and so we came down below IDR. And as you know, orders placed now on IDR, and then that's an easy 5 points on that one. Okay, so pretty easy there. Now, what I did was, of course, I once we got up here to about 4 points, I moved my order up to 10 points, um, and I kept creeping my stop loss up, and so got a little bit above five. Put my take profit on five, and of course, it never went that much higher. Came back down, got me out at five. All right, no biggie. Happy with that. That's what I need. What I'm expecting. Right. So let me make this. Let me do this. Okay. So then the next one which was relatively the same kind of trade. Price comes back down again, back down below IDR. Order on IDR, same move, right? So I went up. Um, initially at 5 points, we started moving up. Moved my take profit to 10 points, and then kind of slowly moved my stop loss up. So initially, once it got above five, I set my stop loss at five. Okay, and then I was like, so I had take profit at 10, stop loss at five. I moved my stop loss up to 8. All right, and I was like, okay, I need 45.21 for it to be a 10 point move. Then it got to like 45.19.75 and then reversed. So I got my 8 points out of that one, and that was it. So right around that time, I was like, okay, I am good for the day. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Yeah, it's been a long day. Sorry for that yawn, but okay. So now, here's where we get ourselves in trouble, right? And most days, I'd be right in the boat with you guys. So here we had price come back down again. Okay, and this one is where it would have got tricky because when price came down and started to move back up, my order would have been here, and I likely would have gotten picked up and then gotten stopped out. Okay, just being honest, that's probably what would have happened, because if you look at where that price actually is, let me make that really, really big, right? So that candle closed above IDR, which means that it was down here, and it started moving back up, and so my order would have been right there on IDR, and probably a quarter point difference, and then next candle would have been at zero, and then boom, I would have been out. Okay, that's just getting part of the deal. So it's kind of lucky I wasn't able to trade today like that. So same issue over here. Oops. Same issue here where we started up and then we came down. Now the only thing that would have saved me here, and it's something I'm trying to get better at, is what I want is price to be moving up, right? So if my DR is showing me high confirmation, I want my price moving up. So in this case, I would not have put a order here because price was moving down, right? It was up, went up, and it came down. So I want price to be moving this way when I put my order on. That's why I would have gotten in trouble over here, because price would have been moving up on that wick, or off of that wick, and I would have gotten picked up there. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So now here, yeah, definitely trouble here because price. Actually, no. Let me not say that. It's not trouble. No, this actually would have been picked up here. So 45.12, let's say, and this goes up to, so for 5 points, I need 45.17. This would not have made it there, but I could have gotten out with a couple points here, right? So, again, it's just one of those things where you have to kind of follow your rules and make sure that your risk management is in line with what you're expecting. Let's see. End of day would have been really nice. End of day was great. Real simple here. There's my order, right? When price comes back up this way, there's my order, 45.12, and that goes all up to like 45, almost 24. So, there's your 10-pointer for the day. That been the trade of the day from a DR perspective. Okay, so again, if you were in, great. I'm glad that you were in. If you weren't, then there's always tomorrow. All right. There's another trade over here that would not have taken because it's after 4 o'clock. Okay. So all in all, good day. Again, a couple of easy ones at the beginning. And again, I always say easy, but I mean easy is just easy as far as following the rules and just letting it play itself out. Being a little aggressive on my stop losses and my take profits, and being a little more, just trying to move those a little bit more to squeeze out some more profit. But again, protecting myself on the downside by setting my stop losses at a point where I'm comfortable if price goes back to that point. Okay. So whether that's 5 points or whether that's 8 points or whatever that is, I'm okay with it coming back down there, right? Because I'm still in profit. Even over here, when we start talking about, not where price would have went up to, we never got down to the .5 fib. So that would have been, if we had gotten down here, I definitely would have been in this trade here. And same thing here. If we would have gotten down here, I definitely would have been in that trade coming from 0.5 fib all the way up. This would have been an excellent trade. That would have been, that'd have been 20 something points on that trade, right? So hopefully somebody will get into this one and just, just from understanding what the market is doing. But, and I don't know if anything happened at 2 o'clock to make the market move that way. I'm pretty sure somebody said something or something happened, but again, I wasn't really watching the market at the time. So, I hope everybody, hope this helps make sense. And just stick to your plan, stick to your rules, right? Some days it's going to work out, some days it's not, but the goal is that over time it works out more than it doesn't. Okay. So anyway, guys, love on your loved ones. You never know when you won't be able to do it again. So take advantage of each and every opportunity. I appreciate you guys. Drop some comments, and we will talk to you later.